Hey, it's Mac. This is going to be really short. I've been digging into the chronological order of events in terms of like how the conservatorship came about. I think it's interesting to note that to the family court, Kevin Federline acknowledges that losing custody of the boys and losing control in the situation is causing Britney to deteriorate. He says that. So, I mean, Britney says that they set her up, and that's absolutely true. I believe that. That's my opinion. That's my belief, is that they absolutely did. You have a court monitor saying that it was the people around Britney who were causing all the craziness, and I believe that's true. So they seem to be able to understand that taking the kids away from her and the amount of pressure that Britney was under at the time, which was like insane, right? It was causing emotional distress. They all seem to understand that. Now, what we can't prove right now at this point is that they were doing it on purpose to break her down so that they could implement the conservatorship. I believe that that's true. I believe that they engineered all of it. You have somebody that Larry Rudolph, this is the story that they presented to the family court. The story they tell is that Larry came to Jamie and Lynn and said that he had to pay a tab for Britney's cocaine habit. He is fired at this point. So that really doesn't make any sense to me at all. He's the fired manager of Britney Spears, and she fired him because he treated her so badly. You know, I think he was happy to take action if it affected the brand. He felt like her flipping off the paparazzi negatively affected the brand, which in turn negatively affected him monetarily. But so like if she did something that he perceived as wrong, he wanted to correct it. But if people did something to her which didn't affect the brand, he didn't want to do anything about it. Even though there was, public relations people already on the team. So he supposedly goes to her parents with this story. I don't think this is true. I think the entire thing is fabricated. I just want to say that she has this debt, that he paid it. And because he had to do this, that's somehow proof that she's a massive drug user, even though there's no proof of that. So this is just an allegation. So he takes the allegation to Jamie and Lynn, and they say to Kevin, you have to tell her if she doesn't go to rehab because of the story that Larry's told us, then you won't let her see the kids. And he did it. Kevin Federline is a horrible fucking human being. He is a terrible, terrible person who knows that the system is rigged against Britney, so he's comfortable admitting that he was doing cocaine. If Larry covered a tab for anybody's coke, I mean, this is my opinion, it was Jamie's. That's my opinion. There's probably like one grain of truth in the story, and it's probably that he covered a coke bill. But whose it was, I don't know, because I sure shit don't think it was Britney Spears. I think she was so distressed by having her two small children taken away from her, having her parents align with Kevin and Lou Taylor when she had pulled them out of poverty, telling her in every conversation she had with her mother telling her she has a drug problem without evidence. Without evidence. Meanwhile, this one right here is getting herself knocked up on purpose, according to Sam Letvey. Because Lynn wouldn't let her go. Lynn would not let her quit the business. I think she realized she was never going to be a Britney, and so she just wanted to go home and be a big fish in the little tiny pond. And so Sam's theory is that when Lynn wouldn't let her go back to Louisiana, she gave Lynn a reason to let her go. So I believe that that's true. I think that that's absolutely spot on. I think Jamie Lynn acting like she don't know where babies come from is ridiculous. She was an accident. She was unplanned. Anyway, she's trying to rewrite history right now to say that her pregnancy is not why Zoe 101 was canceled. That's not what her brother said 6 years ago. Brian, who was the producer on Zoe 101, told Drew Plotkin that absolutely Zoe 101 was canceled because of Jamie Lynn's pregnancy. But she's out here rewriting history. Now, here's what people don't know, and this should be brand new information. In Lynn Spears' book, she writes that preparations for the conservatorship had been underway for 6 weeks prior to that second psychiatric hold. Do you know what the date is 6 weeks prior? Well, it's December 21st. You know what was announced on December 18th? Jamie Lynn's pregnancy. That's right. What I think happened December 21st, I think that, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think the plan for the conservatorship was well underway come January 2007 and not December. Nope. I think that they spent the whole year breaking Britney Spears. And what I think happened December 21st is that she realized Jamie Lynn Spears' career was over because of the pregnancy. I think, and Jamie Lynn writes about this in her book, she wanted to emancipate herself because she was worried. She says very clearly that she was the only person in the family that had a full-time job. And her mom wasn't working and her dad wasn't working. And she was concerned about the money and it being directed to support their family. I think that when Jamie Lynn turned up pregnant, I think that probably solidified, this is my best guess, this is my belief, and why I think Lynn points to that date is because that's when she decided that she was really going to do it. Because Jamie Lynn had gotten pregnant and now they're the source of financial support that they were counting on because Britney had cut them off was now coming to an end. So, I mean, Jamie Lynn can rewrite history all she wants, but there's plenty of information out there that confirms that her pregnancy was essentially the end of her teenage career. So, that's it. I send you all truth, love, and light.